Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, in this video, I want to talk about a type of NoSQL database, which is the key value database. The key value database is a type of NoSQL database. It is the simplest. Key value databases are the simplest NoSQL database that we have. And first, we need to know what is key value. Okay, what is key value? A key value is a data structure or data store, which is a more complex variation of the array data structure. Okay, key value data structure is a more complex variation of the array data structure. Now, what is the array? You know what is the array, but I just want to remind you. Arrays are an ordered list of values. Okay, each value in the array is associated with an integer index, and the values are all the same type. Okay, for example, in this array here, you see that the indexes, these are the indexes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the values. All of the values are Boolean values. All of the values are Boolean values, true or false. Okay, each of the values, they have an index, and okay, this is the array, the same values, and each value has an index. Okay, now for the array we can set the values, okay, like this. We can set the values. For example, this example array, it is an array of strings. Each of the items are a string. Okay. Okay, and what is the associative array? Associative array. Associative array is a data structure like an array, but it is not restricted to using integers as the indexes. The indexes of the values, they could be anything, not just integers. They could be a string, they could be anything. Okay? No limitation on the type of the data for the indexes. And the values, they don't need to be the same type. For example, here, this is example associative array is an array. Okay, this is an index pi, and this is the value. For the second data, this is the index, capital France, and this is the value. Okay, for the third data, this is the index, and the value is itself is a key value. The value itself is a key value. So we can have different indexes and different value types, no limitations on the type of the indexes and the type of the values. That's an associative array. Okay. Now, the key value database, the key value is a data structure like the associative array. Okay, so key value database is a database that the data is in the format of associative arrays. Okay, the keys must be unique. The keys must be unique. in the namespace, uh, and this is a limitation that we have. Okay, so the key value database is a database that the data is stored in the format of associative arrays. Okay, I will talk about this namespace in the next slides. Okay, a key is a reference to a value. Okay, a key is a reference to a value. It is analogous to an address. Okay, for example, the address 1232 NE River Street is a reference to a building located in the particular place. A key can take on different forms. Okay, a key could be different form depending on the database. For example, in the database Redis version 2.8.13, the keys could be strings, lists, sets, sorted sets, hashes, bit arrays. These are the different key types we can have in this database, Redis version 2.8.13. Value. The value is an object, typically a set of bytes, that has been associated with a key. Values could be integers, floating point numbers, strings of characters, binary large objects, semi-structured constructs such as JSON objects, images, audio, and just anything. Okay, so the value of the data, it could be anything. So we have a key that is referring to a value. The key could have some types depending on the database, and the value also, it has some different types, and it is very it could have very different types. Namespace is a very important sub-concept in the key value database. The namespace is a collection or a group of key value data. And the most important thing about the namespace is that we don't have duplicate keys. So in each namespace, the keys could not be duplicate. The keys should be unique. That's the definition of the namespace. Okay? So the namespace is a collection of key value pairs that don't have duplicate values. Okay, for example, in this database we have three namespaces, bucket 1, bucket 2, and bucket 3. Okay, these are three different namespaces we have here, and these are three different namespaces we have here. For each of these namespaces, you see the data that we have. Okay, you see the data that we don't have duplicate keys. These are the keys. Okay, foo1, foo2, foo3, foo1, foo4, and foo6. Okay, these are the keys of the namespaces. We don't have duplicate keys in each of the namespaces. Okay, that's the main limitation we have in the key value database. And in the key value database, we can have different namespaces. Each of them is a group of key values, but we can't have duplicate keys in each of the namespaces. Okay, that's the main limitation that we have in the NoSQL database. Okay, now how could we construct keys in the NoSQL database. How could we construct keys? That's very important uh, because the keys are the very important part of the data. Keys should be unique in a namespace. That's a limitation. I said the only limitation we have in the key value databases is this. The keys should be unique in a namespace. A good method for defining the keys is like this. First, we have an entity name, then we have a colon, okay? Then we have the entity identifier, then we have a colon, and then we have the entity attribute. For example, we want to define a key for the customer first name. Okay, we say what is the name of the entity? We say the customer. Here we have represented like this: cu customer. That's the entity name. The second part is the entity ID, the ID of the customer. Okay, each customer has an ID that is unique. Okay, that's the ID and a colon and the first name. So we want to store the first name of a customer. We make a key like this for it. Okay, that's what we do uh, for constructing keys. Okay, I will talk about this subject in the next videos. Thanks.